All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of WenMint. I'm the machinist still. I haven't changed, I promise. And today we're hanging out with the guys from XRD Domains. What's happening, guys? Thank you so much for hanging out.
Hey, thanks for having us.
Hell yeah. Cheers. This is going to be a really cool show. A lot of you have probably heard of XRD Domains, but I don't think you know exactly what you can do with these domains. It's fantastic. We're going to go on the website, link a wallet, and show you everything you can do with this amazing product. And if you're one of our Cardano listeners, this is like an ADA handle on steroids. Okay, so you're going to want to watch this and check this out. Don't forget, if you are in the live chat on YouTube or X right now, because we are live, if you comment, we can see those comments on the screen. So there we go. Steve, what's happening? Let's go. Rock Howard's here. Yachts is here. What's up, Yachts? Good to see you, man. Hey, guys, don't forget, if you actually, let me change our screen here so everybody can see it. If you type hashtag domaination, get it? It's like domination, but it's domaination. See what it's advertising. It's good. But if you type that, you're going to be entered into a giveaway to win your own XRD domain. So why not hit it up, type it in the live chat, and you will be entered. We'll spin the wheel at the end. But first, real quick, we also have to read our disclaimer here, if I can find it. There it is. WenMint is for educational purposes only. Nothing said or alluded to within this program represents the views, opinions, and or ideology of WenMint. Its hosts, that's me. Its guests, that's those guys. Affiliates, partners, and or related social media platforms. In other words, believe absolutely nothing that any of us say, and do your own research. With that said, buy XRD domains because these are really cool. Actually, I was checking out the website, guys. I have to tell you, before we got on, right? Just making sure I was linked up and everything was good. And I think I got like 2 or 3 more domains just sitting here
Nice.
and being a degen. So I guess if we could to start, let's hear about you guys, right? Because the most important part of any project is the people behind it. So if you could, I guess we'll start with you, Faraz. Who are you? What brought you into crypto and eventually to XRD domains?
Yeah, no, great. Thanks for having me. So, yeah, my name's Faraz. I'm the community lead for XRD Domains. I guess my first foray into crypto was around 2014 when I bought my first Bitcoin for the paltry sum of about $200, I think it was at the time. One of life's regrets, obviously, selling my Bitcoin at such an early stage. But anyway, and I guess from then, I sort of always been interested in the infrastructure side. So I started mining on Ethereum in 2017, and then found myself just frustrated with the lack of scalability and the rising costs of gas fees. You know, even 5 years ago, it was atrocious, and it's only got worse.
Right.
And that kind of led me to try and discover new layer one networks that were trying to solve this inherent problem. And that's when I discovered Radix in 2018. Incidentally, I met Wiley as we both kind of have a passion for node running. So we're both validators on the Radix network and discovered each other that way. And it was Wiley that kind of was the brains behind the whole sort of XRD domains idea. And just the fact that, you know, Radix makes things so much easier to build from the sort of Radix engine at the core of the network to Scripto, which is the sort of smart contract programming language. And it just means that all of these kind of, as you described it, domains on steroids, all of this stuff that we're building is just so much more simpler. So yeah, that's kind of how I got involved. Currently spend most of my time trying to sort of engage with the community on Twitter, Telegram, and our Discord. Just really glad to be engaging with yourself and the hopefully some of the Cardano community as well.
Oh yeah, they're gonna love this. They really are. Well, once I told some people yesterday, I talked to them. They said, "What is this?" I said, "It's like an ADA handle." And before I could say anything else and say it's so much more than just, you know, a personalized address, they were on board. Once they hear everything that XRD Domains actually does, you're probably going to hurt some people's brains. But Wiley, what do you think? Is he just being humble? Were you the brains behind this whole thing?
Yeah, totally humble, totally humble. I mean, I think he's kept us on terra firma, right? So, you know, I kind of put the wheels in motion, I suppose. I just seen this, like everybody was using these handles, and I thought, okay, okay, awesome. Domains in Twitter handles is pretty cool. Let's do it the Radix way and really take it just that up to the sky, up to the clouds, you know. So yeah, I thought, okay, how are domains being used right now, like Web3 domains?
Right.
And I realized the vanity aspect of it is pretty cool. It's really cool. It's awesome. But we need to really complete this so they can be fully usable. We need proper utility. We need to be able to navigate the web. We need to be able to have this like way to transact, but safely. Because domains right now are being used for payments, but they kind of in that stage where, you know, people are just experimenting with them.
Right.
It was like .eth domains. Yeah, that's cool. You know, people are hooking them up to their addresses. But what happens when people actually start using this for real, for businesses, for like serious transactions? They're actually an attack vector. Domains are a point of, this is crazy. Sounds like I'm fudding my own project, but they're actually a point. They're actually a single point of failure in a way, because if somebody kind of poses or impersonates a domain, they've pretty much got a way to scam the people. Right? So I thought, right, we need a trust layer. So we've got domains, and the kind of idea is to build this trust layer upon domains where they collate all of this different criteria to give somebody, the end user, a single trust score. And all they need is a single trust score, which is color-coded, red or green. Very simple for the end user. And they can drill down. I mean, you can drill down into all the specifics, but most users are, you know, in like crypto in a few years are not going to be concerned about the specifics.
Right.
You know, so that's kind of where we've gone with this. Is I thought, let's take domains, give them utility, make them safe. Simple as
yeah. And this really does kind of dovetail perfectly with kind of how Radix itself, you know, just as a blockchain views things, right? It's not like, okay, yeah, we have a market now, but where's that market going to be, you know, 10, 20, 30 years from now, right? What's needed then, right? For true scaling. And you guys kind of took this to the next level with that, because you could have just put vanity plates out there, right? And it probably would have did well. But you guys did a lot more than that. So we're going to take a look at this site. This is awesome. Don't forget, everybody, make sure that you are typing, just like Ben and Josh did here, domaination. Okay, there's your spelling. Because if you do, we're going to run a giveaway at the end for some of these domains. All right, so we are on XRD domain, right? And everybody can find you on Twitter as well. Let me throw those up here so everybody can see your names here. So on Twitter, it's XRD domains. Pretty easy, right? And look at that, XRD.domains for the web. So you guys knocked this one out of the park. So because my memory went with my hair. So it's good to have things that are simple. So I'm gonna get my Radix wallet open here. And we're going to connect to this, and you guys can kind of explain to me what's going on, because I'm learning here too, along with everyone else. And don't forget, people, if you're watching on X, retweet the broadcast, right? Get it out there. Let people know what's going on. And if you're on, how do I manage? There we go. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, like, share, show it to your mom, show it to your grandmother, right? Put it on a QR code, put it in the neighbor's mailbox, like whatever. Let's get this out there. They're building some pretty amazing stuff. And I had to change my domain here quick. Canterbury, I know you're watching. Last night during a space, she wanted piratehooker.xrd. So I picked it up for her. So for now, I am the pirate hooker. But soon,
is that like a hooker on a wooden ship?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
But the wooden ship has to be in water. If it's landlocked, it's not a true pirate hooker. I'm not sure what it is at that. I think it's like a LARPing hooker at that point. But here's the machinist.xrd. So where should we start? Should we just start at the home screen? Do you guys want to start here? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I guess so. From the home screen, you get into the app. So top right, there's a button that takes you directly to that
Oh,
page.
wait a minute. Let me change this so everybody can actually see it because we're in the way. There we go. So right up here, launch app. Gotcha.
Awesome. Okay, so this is kind of like the kind of management panel, if you like. So this is where you can kind of manage your domains. You can add records that will dictate the sort of behavior that that domain is going to have. Now, I don't know if you've ever used a kind of Web 2 domain and you try to assign records. It's a really clunky, quite nerdy thing to do, and it's not particularly great from a user experience. But we've really simplified it here with XRD domains, with what we call namelets, which are effectively just almost like small apps that you can add to your domain to give them utility and functionality.
So real quick, I just to stop you real fast. So with this, right, and people are used to when you get a quote unquote domain, like on Cardano or wherever else, it's pretty much just like we said before, vanity address, right? So this is much more than just a receiver for your wallet. And when you say records, what do you mean by that for anyone that's not sure exactly what you're talking about?
Yeah, so obviously you've got a domain. So we're looking at piratehooker.xrd here, and that's effectively an NFT that lives on the Radix network. Right. You can add records to that domain, which one of which will be a Radix wallet address. So anybody who sends funds to piratehooker.xrd, the network will route that to whichever address you have assigned.
Hold on one second. This doesn't feel professional. I'm going to the machinist. There we go.
I do like the hooker theme though. It's pretty good.
I'm sorry. I'm a professional, as you can tell.
So we can see here you've already installed the Radix receiver namelet. So you've already gone in and you've added a record to your domain, which basically says the machinist.xrd is associated with this wallet address. And anybody who wants to send funds to the machinist.xrd, and there's a few integrations that we have with some wallets on the Radix network already. The Zeus wallet, which is a community wallet, and also shardspace.app. Anyone who wants to transact with you can just type in the machinist.xrd and it will route it directly to your wallet address. So that's the most basic functionality that we've got with domains, which is quite, people will be familiar with from ENS and ADA handles, presumably. Right. But we take it a bit further. So as well as that, you can also assign a web address. So a conventional could be if you've got your own website, you could direct people to it through your domain. It could be a link tree or your Twitter, anything you want. Now we have to have a bit of extra functionality to enable that. We don't currently have native integration with web browsers, but there are a few solutions to that. We have a browser extension built by one of our community partners. So anybody who's browsing on Chrome or Firefox can install that extension and then just type in the domain name to the address bar, and it would route directly to the website that you have assigned as well.
Oh, wow. Now, in the future, though, this will be something where, like, let's say I connect my, my Twitter to this. Will anyone be able to type the machinist.xrd into the browser and it'll just automatically go to?
Absolutely, yeah. Yeah, that's the goal, really. I mean, if we could get integration directly with a browser, that's kind of where we're aiming. So something like Unstoppable Domains, which has integration with the Brave browser, for example, we'd look to do that. And that would, from a user experience, that's going to be a game changer because people can just identify with their XRD domain.
Yeah, and from a just to chime in, from a technical point of view, we've got a kind of not a stopgap, but we've hedged our bets in a way. So we actually have an alpha version of a VPN in the repo right now. So what we want to do is, if none of those browsers want to integrate us, what we're going to do is issue an app. So users can just download this app, and in the background, we extend all the Web2 DNS with the XRD, name service set. Right. And that'll just extend what everyone uses right now via the VPN. And so they have a VPN by default, plus this new way of browsing Web3. So that's the hedge. Right. But yeah, that's what we've got in mind right now.
That's awesome. And it's always good to hear, right, that, I mean, you could have the best plans in the world, but who knows what's going to happen in the future, though I don't see any reason why you wouldn't get browser integration, but that you're already thinking of, if this doesn't happen, how do we do this? Like, that's you're making a plan for success, right? And it's pretty apparent that you're damn sure you're going to make that success happen. It's not
Yeah,
just itself.
Yeah, that's Wiley. That's Wiley all over though. He's the strategist.
Overthinking, I think. So yeah, you know, also like some people might like to use Firefox or, you know, Chrome. Right. I mean, some people like using Edge, but you know,
really,
yeah, you know,
that's a thing.
But we'd like this kind of name service to be able to work with all apps. So it means like a Web3 equivalent of Spotify. So if you have a VPN layer and you can manipulate the DNS and you have like a layer of validators on that, then you can use native apps on your Windows machine, Linux machine, Mac machine. And yeah, you know, there's no limits to it. You don't actually have to use the browser as the entry point. The VPN is setting the DNS for you. And it's just really running in the background.
Bro, there is so much cool tech on Radix. It freaking blows my mind. Like they're really, where have you people been? Well, I guess on Radix. That's why I had.
Yeah, we've been hidden for a few years. Yeah.
Now let me ask you. So you have the website part here, right? Where you can just connect a traditional website to your XRD domain name, right? On top of just using this as an XRD address, you know, receiving address. What's the website redirect? How does that differ from that?
So I guess the best way to describe, I mean, the functionality is very similar because all that's happening is someone types in their domain and it gets sent to whichever website you're assigning as your record. I guess the way to compare it would be like a CNAME record and a conventional DNS. So if you have the website namelet would be for your own website. So you're effectively associating your domain with your own website. A website redirect is basically saying, whenever someone enters in this domain name, just route to this existing website. So there's a slight nuance there in the functionality, really. But they're both kind of going to do the same thing, which is to redirect your domain name.
Awesome. And don't forget, everybody, you did get it right, Crispy. Domaination, not domination, domaination. We're going to run a giveaway at the end for some of these domains. I saw you tried it with the exclamation point too. So I just wanted to let you know that you got it right. And we're letting Walter cook. It's going to be okay. But
there's a sequel.
Yeah. And don't forget, everybody, if you're watching this on X, retweet it because it's free. You didn't pay for this. This isn't Hulu or Netflix, right? So share. Come on, the least you can do. And YouTube as well, right? Subscribe, like. I promise you can unsubscribe after if you don't like me. But XRD Domains is pretty fantastic. So please share this. Now, website DApp. What's going on here?
Yeah. So this takes it a step further. Which is, let's assume that you are fully committed to decentralization and your website isn't in the Web 2 world, but it's in the Web 3 world. So if your website's hosted on IPFS, for example, you can assign your IPFS record to your domain. So almost, I mean, it's a great use case. I mean, I use IPFS myself and IPFS hashes are a pain. And the IPNS, which is the name service for IPFS, is terrible. This is brilliant. It completely abstracts away the need for hashes for content on IPFS. So anyone who's familiar with IPFS or uses it currently, it's brilliant. So this will just give you a nice human readable address that will link to your content on the IPFS.
And now this is all from the same address. Like I can do all of this at the same time with the machinist.xrd. Now also there's delegation for XRD. So this even goes in the staking. Right. So how does this work if I wanted, if I built some giant stake pool for WenMint and I wanted to use the machinist.xrd?
Absolutely. So this record or this namelet will basically just take a validator address and assign that as an additional record to your domain. So if somebody's in the wallet and they want to transact with you, then they can just do a transaction to the machinist.xrd. If they go to the staking section of the wallet and they want to stake on your validator node because, they trust the machinist and they know that he's a brilliant validator on the Radix network, they can just type in the machinist.xrd into the stake option and let XRD domains do all of the background work, finding your address and applying that stake to your node directly.
That's amazing. I'm not brilliant, but if I was, people would do that and I would set this up and I would have validator nodes on the shard space. If you don't know what the shard space is yet, figure it out. Go to the Radix website and check it out because it's freaking amazing. A million transactions per second. It's coming. It's coming. A couple more days, maybe a week or two.
Yeah.
But all right, so this is cool. So right now, this is what's planned to be done with these domains, right? And everyone, again, go to XRD.domains. Check this out. If you're on Radix, you need one of these. And if you're not on Radix, you need to come out from under the rock you're living under, get on Radix, and then get an XRD.domain. Is there anything else maybe planned in the future that you just haven't shared yet and you want to tell me about? Because I'm very
absolutely. I think I'm going to let Wiley come in here and maybe talk a little bit about the rewards system that's coming soon. How do you feel? You want to sort of give a little taster about that, Wiley?
Yeah, this all of a sudden this kind of Zeely-esque methodologies really taken off in the Radix ecosystem, but we were first. So yeah, so basically the achievement system uses the domain as a Sybil protection mech, obviously because the domain's paid. So
right.
The problem is having like an efficient or an effective anti-bot mech. So we've got a few kind of criteria in motion right now that will allow people to list their what we call in right there is a track. So this is our own track for XRD domains. We have all of those badges right there are actually NFTs that you can complete. You literally can complete those tasks like Zeely. Cool. Yeah, it's like Zeely basically,
right?
But via a domain as a Sybil protection mech. So you know that so the actual partner or the collaborator knows they're getting real engagement, not just botted engagement, right? So that's the idea behind it, and it's only pay per engagement, so it's commission based. And for anyone who wants to partner with us, early on, it's totally free. We're happy to prove this model. There we go. We've got one in right. That's a signature, right? That's a signature.
It was. Hold on. Let me swipe right. I got you.
Okay. Nice one. Yeah. So this is kind of the way that we're going to kind of drive the RNS forward. And we thought we would use like the Jeff Bezos model of, if you make it for yourself, it means it's useful for other people as well. So we're kind of going to branch out of the ecosystem to help them as well. So everybody wins.
This is really cool. I think it's very important to hit home to people that this is much more, right? Because obviously people on Radix know this, or maybe they didn't realize you could do this much with these domains, because a lot of people do have them. But I think on other chains, people are not used to domains being this, utility just ridden, I guess, in search of a better term. There are a couple questions that we should probably jump into quick. Normally I wait till the end, but somebody asked about pricing, and I think this is a good time to bring that up because this is not expensive, right? This is super cheap.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I mean, we thought, we've seen other kind of name services and they charge top dollar. So we kind of built a model based on the character length. There's inverse pricing, but we made anything that's kind of generic quite cheap. And we're very much focused on generic domains. So people that come in based on like the handles or whatnot that other entities or third parties might not be interested in. We're very much focused on the user rather than kind of the holder as an investor, So yeah, that's basically our methodology in a way. So we priced it accordingly, but it went really well. So the launch was crazy. We had this auction mechanism, and we're calling Rock, part of the team called. He actually coined the term advantage auction, which gives the originator an edge. So they only have to overbid by $1, but anybody else has to just like overbid by 20%. And it just went crazy. Just the launch is insane. We loved it. Everybody loved it. And I think somebody came in and said, this is like crack cocaine. It's like a dopamine cycle or something.
Well, it looks like, you definitely do have a lot of fans out there, because apparently Wiley equals a crypto wizard, and then in little asterisks, waves the wand. Wingardium Leviosa, my friend. But yeah, we're talking like just, I mean, what it's less than 100 XRD to get one of these in your wallet. And for anyone who doesn't know, right, 100 XRD right now is like $7. So we're talking more like $4, what, $5?
Yeah, $4. If it's 5 characters plus $4.
And we actually updated the price today. We so it's kind of the RNS. So XRD Domains is a platform provider. It's a front end for a foundation, which is a DAO. So so there was an internal vote this week to update the price and to make sure it's aligned to the dollar value of XRD. So it's actually cheaper from today.
Oh, nice.
Align it to the 30-day moving average now.
Hell yeah. All right. Cool. So this is going to be really neat when you can link, because it says right here connect to X, but it says coming soon. So that button's not working yet. But so people will be able to connect their domain to their X account and just earn away, right? Who doesn't love rewards in crypto? That's what it's all about, man. All right. So let's go through how to get one of these, right? Because I think this is this is important. So first we'll go to the home page here, right? And we have to talk about also, and we'll get to this because someone had asked about the settlement period. Sorry, I can't speak. And the auction process for unminted domains. So we'll probably get into that as we go through this.
That's our crypto dev. He's basically saying, please give a disclaimer.
Yeah. All right. So you are now officially disclaimed, people. But we'll explain in a sec. So let's see. What should we get? Somebody tell me in the chat what we should mint here. What do you think, Justin or Yachts? I'm not doing he. That's only for.
It's not gonna be related to hookers, is it?
No, that's only for Canterbury. She got that. It was asked for. She's very happy about it. Here we go. We're gonna do Crypto Wizard because you, my friend, are a crypto wizard. Apparently, that's what these people are saying, and the people don't lie. So let's see if it's any good. So we put something in. We hit search. Oh, it's registered.
Oh,
here we go. Well done, Justin Miller. Okay, hold on. Dadbod. Dadbod.xrd.
That's a good one. I like that.
Let's see. I'm typing on the wrong screen here.
That's my bod. That's my bod. I'm not even a dad.
All right. Dadbod.xrd. I swear to God, if this is gone. Oh, it's available. All right. So we're getting Dadbod.
Somebody else is getting dab. I got a funny feeling somebody else is getting Dadbod as well. You'll find out you'll find out about this auction mech. No.
Yeah. All right. And you can add this to your wish list. So if you're like, hey, I really want this, but you know what? $4 is too much for me right now. I can't. It's not happening, right? There's moths coming out of my wallet. You can put this on your wish list. But anyway, we're going to say commit to domain. So then this pops up. Right, I have to open my Radix wallet, and this is really cool, people. For those of you that aren't on Radix, this connector they have right on Chrome or whatever else for your extension, it doesn't actually have like your seed phrase and stuff in it. Everything still has to go through your phone. So here I see I'm withdrawing like pennies in Radix to the Radix name service for a settlement badge. So slide to sign. This will take all of like 4 seconds and we'll be good to go. So here we go. So I am successfully committed. Now it settles in 48 hours. So what does this settle stuff mean?
Yeah. So basically, the settlement period varies depending on the length of the domain. So for really long domains, I think it's like 10 characters, Wiley, or more. I can't remember what the exact number is.
Yeah, but it's 5+ characters. In terms of pricing, is the cheapest kind of cliff, I suppose you could call it. But anything, it's 10+ characters will instantly settle for you.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So those are kind of pretty generic sort of specific names. People that just have them for their own personal use. Most domains of that number of characters just instantly settle. You get your domain straight away.
Gotcha.
But for domains less than that, there's a sort of sliding scale of settlement period. So in this case, Dadbod with 6 characters is going to take 48 hours to settle. Now, if nobody else shows an interest in dadbod.xrd in that time, after the 48-hour period, that domain is yours. And as Beam has quite rightly pointed out, If someone happens to want dadbod.xrd and tries to place a bid on it, it will automatically move to an auction. So I've got a sneaky suspicion that someone in the chat might suddenly take a liking to dadbod.xrd, and we'll see what happens next.
All right.
But yeah, effectively, so if someone goes ahead and says, I want dadbod too, then you'll see that it will now shift from your settlement page to the auction tab, which, you know, it's just your typical kind of eBay style auction, really. Highest bid gets it. Once someone does bid, it does add an extra 48 hours to the settlement period. But then during that time, it's anything goes. Highest bid is going to win it, basically.
Oh, wow. So now, why was this built in? Is this something that has to be built in because of just how RNS works, or was this a way? I mean, I kind of like it. It kind of gamifies it, right? Like if there's a really cool domain and it gets rid of like what you said, where somebody's just going to come in, get all of these like 2, 3, 4 character domains, and then just, you know, make millions off people.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it was mostly down to like the user experience. We knew it was going to add a massive kind of gamified aspect to the whole thing, but it, you know, in terms of usability with the Ethereum name service, they initially went off blind auctions, but you have to wait days and days and days, and it's such a bad experience to buy a domain. I thought, you know, let's just make these things totally transparent. Make sure people can't kind of snipe each other in terms of being able to flip.
Right.
The highest bidder wins, but allow people to get an update on what's happening rather than just having a blind auction. Okay, the highest bidder wins, but at least with this system, you know where you stand. So there's some kind of feedback in between in the interim, right? So that was the main idea, but it just went completely bonkers, you know, from launch, because everybody just is just competing with each other. It's insane, like what the stuff we've sold, just like every word in the dictionary, really. There's a whale out there right now, is like with 800 domains.
It's you can't help it, right? I remember when ADA handles came out, and people still pick on me. I have like 70 ADA handles, and it was like stupid stuff like Michael.Jordan. I'm like, somebody's gonna want this in 30 years, right? Michael Jordan's great grandson is gonna want to buy this from me, and I'll be a millionaire. So all but yeah. Oh, we do have a question from Justin here too. Can you change the color of your QR code?
No, you can't. So that's part of the you know, the mech as well. So we built this very simple algorithm that takes your the actual string of the domain and converts it into a radix like gradient. So it's very kind of synonymous with radix. So every domain has its own trademark, its own look, you know, and feel. So if you like look at a secondary marketplace and you're viewing these things, we actually had a like a search for the grayscale domains, because we had like a, you know, like when you get these kind of the mints that they have like issues with the coins that they mint,
right?
And those coins are really valuable. We had one ourselves, so within the code, it just didn't accept a few. You know, if you had a few characters just out of skew, and I don't even know the solution myself, but it produced grayscale domains, but there's only a few of them. But it's just random characters. You know, people are putting random characters in to get these grayscale domains. So it's kind of gamified it again to the point where, you know, people are like, oh, that's a cool QR code, a QR gradient. Yeah, I love that. And it's strange because like, I think it was Binance actually has a yellow gradient. You know, that's the base of the gradient.
Right.
So all of these things have worked out really like to a strange degree, to the point where people have asked us, did we plan that? Did we plan for that to be yellow? And we're like, no, but that's very spooky, you know. So it just adds that extra flair of engagement.
Right. And like collectability, right? That's all those digital collectibles, right? With even tokens, right? It doesn't have to be an NFT to be a collectible.
Yeah, exactly.
So, hell yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah,
well,
these are NFTs though. So the domains are NFTs.
Awesome. Yeah, of course, because obviously if they were, you know, if they were fungible tokens, there'd be copies of all of them everywhere. What you have is yours, right? It's like a one-of-one.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, also, it looks like dad bods give Hermes tingles. But I was waiting for Beam to try to steal my.
Well, I've actually just put a bid in. So if you hit the auctions tab, it might not refresh on this page, but it you might have to refresh. But you should find that that's gone into auction now, because dad bods make me tingle as well, so I just had to have it.
God, 95 hours. What's wrong with you people? No.
I might join in.
So now the highest bid is 100 XRD. That's a lot, but that's only $7, so I might go for it. So my bid was this is pretty cool. So then I can increase the bid.
Yeah.
How does bidding work? This is nice. The UI for this is great too. So you can actually everything's very clearly explained. You don't have to watch a WenMint video to learn how to do this. You should, but you don't have to. All right. So there's the current bid. My bid ends in. So there we go. I'll just submit. This is the minimum, right? I can make it whatever I want, but I'm cheap. So I'm going to submit my bid, and then it pops up again on my wallet here. And then I go. And if you guys keep fighting me, I will FUD you in every space.
It's yours. Dad bod's yours, honest.
All right.
I'm not gonna bid anymore.
Somebody's going to go steal it now just because I said, no, but this is really, really cool. It's kind of like you could have done this, right? Just domains linked to your wallet. Cool. Great. It would be successful, right? Mm-hmm. You guys would do well. You could even, I don't know, jack up the price probably and do very well. But you didn't, right? You added a ridiculous amount of utility that I don't think, I didn't even expect everything that you just told me. And I've looked at the site, right? I think when it's explained, it really kind of hits home. Now you have what's the marketplace here as well?
Yeah, so the marketplace is just where you were kind of searching for domains you want to purchase. So it's just it's the venue for your settlements, your auctions, and anything that you've kind of got on your wish list, basically.
Cool. All right, and everyone, don't forget, if you type, I have to find it here in the chat. Actually, I can just show you right here. Don't forget to type domaination, not domination. That's Wiley's gig. Domaination. Okay. Into the live chat. I believe it's X and YouTube. I know it works for YouTube. Having the live chat on X is still very new. Elon just let us have it. Thanks, Daddy Elon. So to be safe, go try it on YouTube. And we're going to give away some domains, which is really cool. Thank you, guys. So what else? Well, I mean, this is all really cool. Oh, and I had one other question. With my regular Radix wallet here, right, that I downloaded from, the Radix website, can I use my XRD domain? It's ready to go?
Not quite. So we're working on it. We've had a number of discussions with the RDX Works team, who are responsible for the official wallet, and it's coming. I can't say when, but they're definitely receptive to us integrating with them, and it will be coming soon. But like I did mention as well, there are community wallets that you can use with your XRD domain. Zeus Z3US is the most popular community wallet, and also shardspace.app. You can also transact using your domain there.
Awesome. And now let me ask you guys, because a lot of people that watch this, and even myself, I'm still relatively new to Radix, right? When I found out they had a wallet, I downloaded that because I'm like, this is safe, right? But things like Zeus, are those just as secure as, that's all open source, good to go, people can feel safe using that wallet?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I don't want to vouch for, I haven't looked at the code myself, but it's Zeus is open source. Both Shardspace and Zeus are built by long-standing community members that, they go back years, probably as long as it's been in the project, as long as myself and Wiley have. And I use Zeus myself. The advantage of the Zeus wallet, for example, is that you don't actually need to use your phone. Everything is encapsulated in the browser. So if you're doing a lot of activity, a lot of transactions, it does become a bit laborious getting your phone out and swiping every time. So Zeus basically packages all of that up into the browser, so you don't actually have to sign with your mobile at all if you want that kind of functionality.
All right, cool. So you heard it here first. Faraz said, everyone you can 100% trust. No, I'm sorry. No, but awesome. And it is good to hear that it's open source, right? And I'm sure if there was anything wrong with the code, somebody would have been screaming and yelling by now. I do have a question on Discord here for you from Andrew. He said, how do you prevent people, or can you prevent people from upvoting or, raising the price on their own domain and auction and holding people hostage. I don't know if that's something that you guys would be able to block, right? That kind of goes with decentralization. Anybody can make an anonymous wallet.
Mhm. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely possible. We don't sort of publicize any domains that go to auction, although everything's on the ledger, so anyone who's really motivated would be able to find out. But yeah, it's the fairest way. So it's a level playing field for everyone, and the highest bidder wins. It's the most fair way to do it. I mean, it does kind of benefit those with deep pockets, of course, but we figure that is the most sensible way to approach it.
Yeah, I mean, with like, if you've got a blind auction, it's exactly the same psychology. The person with the deepest pockets usually wins it. But yeah, in terms of like front running, we've solved all that. That's all covered. So you can't front run somebody.
That's awesome. And it really is, right? There's some things you just can't control. People are going to be people, but you guys have done everything that you can. I mean, this really is. I know I just jumped over to the X, and make sure people that you're following these guys on X, because this tech is super, super fucking cool. Excuse my language, but it's my show. So, and they're probably going to come out with a lot more in the future. So I'm going to have to get a Zeus wallet now, because I want people to send me. Or actually, they would need to use the Zeus wallet, right? Technically, I wouldn't need to have one. So to send to a domain, you would need one. Now, if you want to receive to your domain, though, you do have to go in here under Manage, not Pirate Hooker, Canterbury. And you actually have to install, right? You click here on the Radix receiver and you put your wallet in, or I forget how I did it. It just automatically connects or gives you the option to connect to the wallet that you're connected with.
Yeah, to your current address. So what it'll give you the option to connect that domain to your current address. We're actually working on reverse resolution as well, which basically allows anybody integrating we've got an SDK to resolve all addresses to your domain name, so it makes it user friendly from a UI perspective. But yeah, in terms of like usability, utility, there's a few tools coming out within the next month, which I think will raise a few eyebrows. So the crypto dev of the team has got his own project, and he's decided to kind of use the RNS as the base layer, and it's going to have some interesting utility. And it doesn't necessarily mean we need to be integrated with the official wallet itself. It's going to be pretty interesting. So I'll just put that little spoiler teaser out there, just to keep people on their toes. Why not?
I like it, right? Why not? And I just changed, or I didn't change it, but I added it. I'll change it now. The banner at the bottom. Don't forget, everybody, Domaination to enter the giveaway. And we have some comments here. Apparently, Deep Pockets, I'm sorry, Faraz, is already paid. And someone asked, can the Zeus wallet be used on mobile? Now, this is not the Zeus wallet team, just so everybody knows. Okay, we're talking about XRD domains here. Be respectful.
Yeah. So Zeus is browser extension only, but the official Radix wallet, which you can download at wallet.radixdlt.com, that is mobile only, but doesn't yet work with domains, but it will do soon.
Awesome. And that's actually a good move too, because there were some people that were like, nope, I'm not putting my wallet on mobile. I'm not doing it. I'm like, it's safe, man. Just write your seed phrase down and like hide it under the kitchen sink or something. Nobody's going to get your stuff. But they wanted desktop. So there you go. All right. So this has been great, guys. This actually, this has been a lot of fun hanging out with you two blokes.
Likewise.
So what is this? Whoa, wait a minute. I can here. We're not. So what's going on with this community namelets? There's a Trove profile. I can hook this up to my Trove, or soon.
Yes. So this is more experimental. This is kind of to just illustrate what we can do with it. So people have their own collections, their own NFT collections, etc. Their own back-end profile where you can tip. So we decided to kind of reach out to those projects and say, do you know what, would you like your own namelets? It'll just be as simple as somebody installing it, and it'll hook it up to their, user profiles, that's related to to Trove or Backium. And that's for loads more apps, because everything like with Radix is very much Lego bricks. So we thought, why not manifest those Lego bricks in the UI and just bring them out via the domain? So much like a link tree in a way. The domain, like Web3 domains, are basically a link tree, right?
Right.
They can be used for everything. So they can hook those up, but those are a Web 2 namelet. As you know, you can see the navigation in the corner, so there's a navigation icon. So
Right.
it basically just forwards people to those things. But we've got other things like the community widgets below will be way more powerful. So people will be able to create loot boxes through XRD domains directly. So you can just hit create loot box, select your domains, boom, loot box publishes to Bobby, and there we are. So we just want to make things very streamlined rather than just have people set records. We don't want a list of just text. It's a huge list of text. We want just widgets and things that people like the average user can come in and go, okay, well, if I hit that button, it does this, rather than what is an A record? What is a C name record? What is this? What is that? You want to see what it does. You hit the button, gives you the permissions. Okay, I like that. So there's a bit of discovery here, and it's way more user friendly.
Hell yeah, absolutely. This is actually this is all really cool, man. You guys I didn't think I'd ever be like really excited about like when I see domain names on Web3 stuff, it was just a wallet address, right? Like I don't $ the machinist on Cardano and it goes to my wallet. Like that's it, This is great. Actually, I should ask about this because I have to send Pirate Hooker to someone. Now, do they need to have one of those? Because there's when you first get a domain name on here, right? Don't you get like some kind of a token up front first, like a user token, or what is that exactly?
Yeah, you get a user badge, which basically is just your a unique identifier for you as a user of the RNS, basically. But to answer your question, when you're sending Pirate Hooker, your recipient doesn't need to have that badge. We have the transfer tool within the XRD Domains platform, which basically just adds an extra security layer, really. When you transfer a domain through the platform, you see you have those toggles to remove records upon transfer. So basically it ensures that when you send it, it's a clean slate for whoever receives it. And if you had assigned a website or a Radix address and you didn't want those to transfer with the domain, it just ensures that everything gets cleared off before it sends. Now, you can send the domain directly through the wallet and bypass this app altogether, but we recommend doing it this way because it just makes sure that all the records are clear, and then the new recipient can then add their own records nice and easy.
Gotcha. So with something like, and I don't know, how many times have I said Pirate Hooker in this episode? I think it's a record.
You've been sponsored.
Well, with this, right, obviously I haven't connected anything, but let's say I did, right? And I had all this stuff checked off. If I came over here to transfer and just hit remove all records, remove subdomains, remove everything, then she'd get it as a clean slate, like it was brand new, ready to use.
Yep.
Awesome. Now, what else do we have in here? We have roles as well. And not like Kaiser rolls. These different roles. So I can
not like dad bod rolls.
Exactly. Those are Justin's favorite roles. Where is he in here? He's a good guy. Look at you.
Here we are.
But so I can, and this will have different. Wait a minute. So add user and roles. Why would I have to add different users if I had a different wallet, maybe, or something like that?
So imagine that you're kind of running a business.
Right.
So this is by the way, this is a V1.5 feature, so it's not available yet, but we've actually written it. So it's ready to go, but we'd rather kind of like verify everything, test everything first.
Right.
To kind of explain that this is a DAO, so we'll need a community mandate to go forward with it. We just presented V1 to kind of say, look, we're really competent and we can actually pull this off. So please put this vote through, So this is basically a vote of confidence. So V1.5 will come with roles. So just imagine you're running a company, just like a Slack profile, in a way. You want to kind of delegate different roles to different people and give them different permissions. It's exactly the same with a domain. A domain's an entry point for a business. you're going to want to give people different roles and permissions and stuff like that. And to kind of add another layer to it, what if you've got a load of co-founders who don't want to be doxxed? They could buy a domain and it could be co-owned. Right? So you've got an entry point to a business. You could share this wallet, treasury address, whatever you want. You could kind of allow different users to, or different co-founders to set different namelets, subdomains, and roles. But it's all trustless, you know? So that's kind of, we've thought about that in advance. So we really want these things to have utility, and therefore we got to make it really usable for the people who really are going to want to use it, which are going to be the dApp builders.
Right.
And those people sometimes want to work together. They don't really know each other. They might not trust each other completely, and therefore you need to spread that responsibility. So that's where Rose comes in.
This is really fucking cool, guys. Holy, and that's only 1.5. Right.
Yeah. You want to see V3? This you're like, if this is like good for you, if you're like enjoying this so far, we've got a few features that might, you know, raise a few eyebrows over the next 18 months.
Oh,
that's kind of the timeline. So,
oh geez, Pirate Hooker, who are these people? I'm sorry. I promise that wasn't my fault. It was a community member, Canterbury. This is all your fault. And he says right here, what is this? It works. I'm telling you, I tested it. Beam doesn't lie. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is, I mean, we're ready to go. Just hold tight. We're going places. All right. Well, this was a ton of fun. I guess we got to run this giveaway, huh? We were supposed to go for an hour, and I'm just having fun bullshitting with you guys. It's been like all right, giveaway tool. Everybody, don't forget hashtag domaination in the live chat, and you might win a domain. I got to figure out how to do this. I got a page open here, a word processor. Do people call it that anymore? Probably not.
Very 90s.
Yeah, right.
I like it though. I call it word processor.
There you go. Yeah, I'm not the only.
I'm with you.
All right. Let's try this. So let's see. Draw. See, this is a cool little tool. It is a lot of fun. I've never seen anyone use it on StreamYard. Let's see. Hey.
Oh,
Hey.
yes. The dad bod, the dad bod's back.
Well done, my friend. I know who you are, bud. So I will find out what domain you want. You can send me your wallet. We'll talk in Discord, and we'll get that set up. So let's see. How many of these do we want to do?
How many entrants have you had?
We had 14.
Let's do all of them.
Yeah. Cycle and let's just give them all the domain.
Everybody's a winner. Everyone's a winner.
Yeah.
Let's do all of them.
Actually, you know what we could do then? If you want just everyone that's live, we could have them put their address and the name that they want in the chat. And then we could just go and copy paste it from YouTube from the live chat after. It might be easier.
Sure.
Otherwise, I'll have to go through every person and have them like type in what they want, and then I'll put it on my old school word processing document.
I'd have them DM you because some other people might want to bid on it.
Oh,
I see. Do it that way.
All right, people. So if you want, you know where I'm at on X, at NFT Machinist. Shoot me a DM, and we'll get you an XRD domain. We're capping it at 14. So don't go trying to watch this 10 hours from now and get a free domain. Okay, it's $4. Don't be cheap.
And I will add 5-character minimum as well. So no really highly expensive 2-character domains for this giveaway, but 5 characters plus will do. No worries. Oh,
there you go. Look at this. Mess around with it, winners. Break something, but you can't because they work too hard on building it the right way. And also with these, can you use, periods, dashes, underscores, smiley faces?
So you can use hyphens. You can't use the dog poop emoji if that's what you're asking. But you can use hyphens. That's okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah. It's alphanumeric.
Something we discovered on Cardano. I'm going to try this with one of yours. If you use the text code that's used for an emoji in a domain, it'll actually show up as the emoji sometime. I might have to try this and see if I can. If I make one, Wiley, I'm sending it to you. I'm going to send you a domain.
That'd be amazing.
And I will officially be a Radix dev. I've always wanted that. All right. Well, we just have Justin's face on the screen. What's going on here? Oh my God. Welcome to WenMint. All right. Well, this was a lot of fun, guys. I guess before we go, for anyone that's maybe just hearing about XRD domains, or they heard about it, but they didn't realize how much was involved and how much work has gone into this, not just to make it secure, right, but to provide a ton of utility for now and long into the future. I'm sure there's going to be a ton more stuff, like you said. What would you tell those folks, right, to help them get involved in everything you're doing, not just getting a name, right, or a domain, but staying on top of what the rewards are and the new updates and everything else?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say obviously get in touch with us on our socials. So xrd.2/Telegram, Discord, Twitter, easy to find. I mean, Wiley's already alluded to the fact that, you know, the RNS, the Radix Name Service, is a DAO. So it's it's fully decentralized right from the outset. Anybody who's a domain holder becomes a stakeholder in the DAO. They can get involved with suggesting proposals for the future direction of the platform. They can suggest enhancements, and they'll get fully funded by the DAO in order to build on the Radix Name Service. So a completely collaborative project, fully decentralized. Everybody's welcome to get involved.
That's amazing. So if you do want the poop emoji domain, you need to take that power into your hands. You can do this. All right, cool. What do you think, Wiley? Thanks, man.
Love it. Love it. Yeah. Thanks so much for having us on. It's been great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Been awesome.
This was a ton of fun. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you share this, right? Because this is cool stuff. And that's what we're all here for, right? Building cool stuff on the blockchain. And I know a lot of you may have just be learning about Radix, right? There's a video on the YouTube there. If you go back a bit, it's easier to find than on Twitter because you have to go through the whole feed. That'll show you where you can go to get a wallet, right? Talk about some projects, some other stuff, and also official links to the Radix blog where you can learn about this blockchain, right? And the shard space and what validators are, and right what an epic is, because it's different than on Cardano or any other blockchain. Radix is very different, but in a very, very good way. So definitely check it out. I'm here to stay. So guys, thank you again so much. We're going to have to do this again when version 1.5 comes out.
Yeah, there's so much more to talk about. We could really bore you to death, but there's loads of content. I mean, the team is sleeping right now. And they have to read through all these docs, but yeah, I've got to get them written up first. So there we are. But thanks very much, man. Can I ask you one question though?
Yeah, of course.
Well, what caught your eye with Radix? Like, how did you kind of get involved?
There was and let me answer Steve quick. Actually, Steve, if you can't DM me on X, wait a minute and I will turn DMs on. Usually I have to be following you for you to be able to DM. Oh no, you might have to follow me so you can DM. Either way, I'll make sure I turn them on. So keep your eye on it, or just post under this stream your name and that I couldn't DM you or whatever, and I'll click on your name. I'll DM you. All right, perfect. So we'll get it done. But someone that I've known in the space for a while, a community member over on Cardano, had his wallet drained on Solana, messing around with that fake blockchain. No offense, anybody, but it is fake. There's a big warehouse somewhere with a light switch that they just turn on and off. And he, I saw he was posting about this, and then all of a sudden, the Radix community came out of nowhere. And, there was like Hug and Way and all these other projects and FOMO and Wonder Woman were all just sending the guy stuff. You guys sent him a handle with Speezus, Speezus Christ. And I do research. I love researching projects. So I went to the Radix website and I started reading about the tech, and it's awesome, man. Like if you're here for tech, you're here for Radix. Like it's kind of, it's a no-brainer. And I just love it. The community's awesome. Everybody's helping each other. It's super early. right? There's not a ton of stuff out there yet, so everything is growing super fast, and everyone's still happy and excited, right? And after a couple of years, like on Cardano, everyone's just kind of mad at each other, and it just, it's the truth. I'm not fudding them, right? It's just it's how it is, right? But
Yeah,
it's just it feels like the beginning of like a new day on Radix. Everyone's happy, everyone's excited, even if there's a little red on the chart. Nobody cares because we know where it's going to end up
yeah.
in the end. So
Yeah.
that's it.
That's so typical as well of the Radix community, that the whole thing with Speezus and the kind of all the community rallying around. That's just Radix through and through. So yeah, and that's a great story, and I'm glad that you found us that way. So yeah, cool. It's a fantastic community to be a part of. And you're right, it's that kind of still feels like a bit of a startup. It still feels like things are just getting going, and there's so much more to come. It's going to be really
so much like anticipation, and you can feel it, can't you?
Yeah,
it's really fresh. So yeah, it's cool.
Absolutely. And the cool thing is, though, it's not like when it's early and it's clunky, right? Everything works, right, seamlessly. Like the wallet, all the transactions are super fast. I haven't had any issues with anything. It's just, I don't know, it's good. Well, it's not good, but it's good, I think, for at least some of us, that this isn't easily available XRD yet in the States. Like I had to jump through hoops to find simpleswap.io where I could, swap crypto and get my XRD. Because once this is on Coinbase and crypto.com and stuff, which is probably right around the corner, it's over, man. What Cardano did in 2021, the charts are the same, right? When it shot up from pennies to like $3, that's going to happen here.
Yeah. Sometimes barriers to entry are really good opportunities, right? Anybody that can pass those barriers, they've got over the other side. So that's us.
And it's not that hard, right? All you got to do is want enough, do a little research.
Exactly.
We'll get there. But all right, that's enough of that. So everyone, again, if you can't DM me, I apologize. Just post under the X, stream, and I'll hit that up in about 2 minutes. And if you guys want to hang out for a second, that's great. We can chat for a few minutes after, but I got to kick everybody else out. You don't have to go home, people, but you can't stay here. Thing going. Everybody, thank you again for watching. I'll be back next week. We got a whole bunch of stuff planned. I have a big space we're going to do with Hug. I have a bunch of stuff coming out with Project Now. I'm working with them as an ambassador now, helping them get the word out. If you have a project on Radix and you need marketing, because everybody needs marketing, reach out to Project Now. They're doing an amazing job, and they have partnerships all over the place. And you're early. It's the best thing about all of Radix. You're very early. See you soon.